researching how to drive a motorbike in Vietnam.
Today we are going to answer some common questions people have.
Yeah, we're really excited about this, as we were driving through Vietnam for a good week or so, about 2 months back.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit about the safety and insurance, and a very important point, which is the license. We're also going to talk a little bit about how you can rent down there, and
yes,
just general advice, I guess, that you will need, that we picked up on our trip. Alright, so first, in order to have your travel insurance be valid while driving,
you will need to have an international driving license or one from Vietnam.
yes, it's pretty important to have this in case you get into an accident. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you get stopped by police or something, they may not like your international driver's license, but as far as insurance goes, it's valid. As long as you have a valid license, you will be covered by insurance. Now, did we get a license?
No, but it's risky.
Yeah, and when we're going back down, we will get a license.
Yeah.
It will only take you a day or two. It's pretty easy from what we've heard. You should research that further, as we haven't actually been through the process ourselves, but we will update you when we have more.
Yeah, and you should check with your insurance.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. As far as getting stopped, if you don't have a license, it's not really. We've heard stories about people.
Yeah, people getting pass.
Yeah, and like the worst case scenario is you will pay a fine.
Yeah.
So take that as you will.
Oh yes.
Next point.
Yeah. So down in Vietnam, they are driving at the right side of the road.
Yes, they are. Actually, when if you think about it, they're driving on both sides.
Come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
You will have some slow driving scooters also going in the opposite direction on the right.
Yeah.
So that's something to be prepared of.
Yeah. To be honest, in Vietnam, we found that people will drive every direction.
Yeah.
Like they will come at you against the sidewalk in the opposite direction, and on the other side of the road is normal traffic, and people will just drive in from the sides. They can drive in from behind them, like anything could happen. So like one of the main things we found out when we were driving is that you need to be really careful to keep like an eagle eye ahead of you at all times. It's a lot to get, like, when you first start driving there, it's pretty intimidating.
Yeah, it's something you gotta just get into,
Yeah.
get a feeling of. I would not recommend starting in the worst place, like in the big cities where the traffic is really crazy.
Yeah, we started off in Hanoi.
Yeah.
It was not the best place to start out. We ended up stopping every 10 seconds or so because we didn't know the way, we didn't know the traffic. Everything was pretty intense.
Yeah, and also we have been driving scooters or bikes in Norway, so if you have not been driving before, definitely not recommend the city.
So let's tell you a little bit about the traffic down in Vietnam.
Oh yeah.
There are a few things to be aware of before you head down.
Yeah. So on the road, it's often the biggest vehicles which goes first, you can say.
Yeah, they have the right of way, kind of. Especially like trucks, and I would say like cars that are not privately owned.
Yeah.
If you see private cars, especially nice cars, they will usually be careful because they're very expensive to repair. But if you see like some company car or a big truck, you're very scared. Keep to the side. I think that's all to be said about that. But other motorbikes,
Yeah, you should not expect that they see you at all times. Like if you're behind them, you're responsible for taking the right action.
yeah, and you often hear about Vietnam that there is a lot of the honking of the horns and stuff. Like everybody's talking about, oh, Vietnam, there's so much noise in the traffic because everybody honks their horns. This is because they don't use their mirrors; they instead use the horns.
Yeah.
So like it can be like, okay, I'm behind you, I'm coming, or it could be, okay, I'm a big car, I'm driving whatever happens, and like it's kind of like
Yeah. And also the bigger cars have it's like they have bigger hunks, so you know the size of the vehicle.
Yeah, sometimes you will jump up while driving.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't, if you're from like Europe or something, don't be offended.
No.
It's just how it is down there, I guess.
It is.
Another thing you want to watch out for is bicycles, as well as like the small electric scooters. You can often see students driving those.
Yeah, really slow.
Really slow. So you may not expect that they're as slow as they are, and that can kind of create a dangerous situation if you're coming up quick behind them, and like you need to just watch out. Just be aware that they drive very slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in Vietnam, people don't like to stop. So you may see other bikes crossing the roads in the middle of the traffic, and that's like they only want to keep
The flow in the traffic. Like as long as you are able to get past something and not stop, you should do it. Because in some way it's kind of safer down there, like because people don't expect you to stop. Like if you stop in the middle of the road, you may end up getting driven into.
Yeah.
But it's much better that you drive very slowly, and just like if you need to change lanes or something, just slowly make your way over, like just keep a steady direction so people around you can kind of calculate. And that's a good tip for walking in traffic down there as well. Like if you're going to cross the road, just go at a constant pace, like slowly. Of course, watch out for trucks and stuff, but just slow and steady.
The crossing the roads when you're walking is really intense the first couple of times.
Yeah.
So but it's just to keep a steady pace.
Yeah, actually, I think driving down there has taught us a lot about crossing the road, because you kind of understand that there is a flow to everything. It's kind of a dangerous country to drive, for sure. Like, for sure. But, yeah.
Yeah, it's...
There is a method to their madness.
Indeed, they want the flow.
But we wanted to talk a little bit about how the roads are. Inside a city, it's usually only 30 kilometers.
Yeah.
Like, just be aware of that you don't go faster, because that's illegal. And and you will kind of feel safer inside a city because it goes like slow. You have a lot of control. Outside the cities, the speed limits for motorbikes are usually 60 kilometers per hour.
And you will see big signs for this when you enter the city and leave the city. You can see this blue city sign with a crossover when you leave.
Yeah.
So, but you will not see too much of the number signs.
No, just be aware that like if you're in like a city or like an area where people live, just drive slow, like 30. And outside at 60 is fine, as long as you can do it safely. The roads outside, like the highways and city roads are very nice. Like you won't have any problems driving there, and you will mostly be safe as long as you like keep in mind these things about the cars and directions and all the craziness. Outside of the main roads and such, like once you get into a little bit of a rural area, I would say it's a lot more dangerous in the sense that the roads are very bad. Like you need to be very aware of where you're driving, because all of a sudden, like there is a hole in the ground and you're minding in other thoughts or something. Suddenly you're laying on the side of the road with like a broken arm or something.
Yes, and that's when you want to have a valid license.
Yes. So definitely strongly consider getting a local driver's license.
Indeed.
It could save you very much in the long term, like if you get into an accident.
Yeah, it's really just stupid not getting one, I would say.
Yeah, like accidents can happen anywhere at any time,
So Vietnam is very known for their beautiful rice fields, and to get there you may have to cross the mountains.
Especially in the north.
Yeah, especially in the north. And here it's some things to be aware of, like there's a lot of turns, and around the turns you may meet like big trucks, so before you get into the turn it's a good thing to honk as you signalize, here I am.
Yeah, kind of. Here I am.
Here I am.
Kind of like you're if you're driving at night. Like
Yeah.
you will blink your headlights.
Oh yes.
Yeah, kind of the same thing. So we want to talk a little bit about what kind of bikes you should rent, especially if you're going up to the mountains.
Yeah, I would definitely get a manual, as you can brake on the gear. Since when you use your brakes too much, they will get really hot and stop working.
Yeah, you don't want that happening up in the mountains. You will meet your demise.
So semi-automatic is maybe,
Yeah, that would be fine too.
yeah, but automatic is not the best.
No, it's fine if you're gonna drive a little bit,
Yeah,
but you have the risk because if you use your brakes too much, especially if it's a rented bike and you don't know how well the brakes are gonna hold up.
yeah, that's true.
So yeah, automatics are totally fine if you're just gonna drive in the city and like not to rural areas.
But the best would be to have the manual one.
Yeah, or semi.
Or semi.
Yeah. And as far as rentals go, you can find a lot in Hanoi. We rented from. We just Googled it and picked the one with the most rating. I don't know if that's the best way to find one. Depending on your needs, you're gonna have to research this yourself. Just be aware that if you rent, you probably have to give up your passport, as at least one of you. We did it. We're not fans of doing it. Like, if we had a choice, we wouldn't, but we kind of had to. So just grab a photo of your passport if you have to give up one of them, and use that at the hotels. Otherwise, they won't let you sleep there. And for the hotels, you definitely want to find one where you can park your bike inside. Vietnam is kind of
Yeah, it's not the best if you have a really nice bike to
and
leave it alone in the night.
Yeah, just find some place where they usually have security in most places.
Yeah.
And to find hotels, it's pretty easy. Just go into Agoda or something. Actually, we're gonna link our affiliate link to Agoda in the description if you wanna support us a little bit. If you don't, that's fine as well.
And if you're worried about running out of gas on the road, this is no problem in Vietnam, as you will find gas station very often.
Yeah.
It's no problem.
Yeah. We found it was a good practice to refill fuel when we were at half tank.
Yeah.
And we never ran even near empty.
No.
I don't think we fell below half many times.
No, not many times. Not yours.
No. Yours use a little more gas for some reason.
For some reason.
Better driver. That we don't know. It was a weird bike. Our bikes were not the best.
No, and we were recommended not letting them go under half tank.
Yeah.
Too. But it's a good advice anyways.
Yeah, it is. If you want to see our experience, we actually strapped a GoPro on Jens's chest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, filmed all of it and talked a little bit about our experience as we were on the road.
Yeah, we have a motorbike series, which is where the clips you're looking at now is from. This is kind of a little summary.
Yeah.
I say.
Yeah, unfortunately, we were planning to head down there ourselves again.
Yeah.
But, with the situation, it's March 2020.
So to watch our motorbike series from Vietnam, click here. Come on.
Thanks for watching.
Yes.